Hello friends, acquaintances, and enemies of all ages. My name is Justin and this is my review for the game Penarium. Penarium is an action platformer that released in September of 2015. You play as a young farmer boy named Willie who longed for adventure as work on the farm was tedious and unexciting. One day, Willie was greeted by a tall, mysterious man who promised him just that, adventure. Willie, although hesitant at first, felt an uncontrollable urge to go with the man in his circus caravan, and so he did. They rode in the caravan for what seemed like hours when the tall, mysterious man let him out and introduced him to the Penarium, the sadistic circus extravaganza. Willie quickly finds out that this circus is nothing but a death trap, but with no other options, he presses on. The tall, mysterious figure tells him that most other contestants die, but that if he wishes to escape, he must survive. There are two main game modes for the single player at Penarium. You have the campaign mode, where you follow Willie on his adventure, and an arcade mode, where you can test your skills with various power-ups. Penarium's controls are tight and responsive, an absolute necessity for these types of games. However, Penarium is unique in the fact that instead of the traditional get from point A to point B goal system, it's simply a survival game. The Penarium will throw a large variety of deadly traps or annoyances at you, and you have a goal to complete while making sure that you stay alive. This can vary from collecting barrels, playing a Simon Says type game, or my personal favorite, which is collecting all the balloons on screen in a race to the finish. Now, this is where my feelings for Penarium become split. I absolutely love its controls, and I really enjoy its gameplay. I've been a huge fan of platformers my whole life. Hell, I've almost 100%ed Super Meat Boy. But unlike Super Meat Boy, which has many different levels of varying types, introducing new mechanics every world, Penarium really only changes the platforms on screen. And it'll add some new traps or new trap combinations occasionally, but the levels all look very similar. Some of the traps are laughably easy to avoid, and the worst part of all is that this game destroys my patience at times. I love when a game is challenging. However, the levels that get frustrating don't come from you simply not being able to manage the traps. It comes from having to go through 3 minutes of the same easy gameplay just to get to the hard part. I'd rather have an entire level that is so incredibly difficult to get through than a level that makes me sit around doing easy things for a while just for the very end to get difficult. Imagine a reaction game where you have to press the button within a tenth of a second of it blinking. But the button doesn't blink for 3 to 5 minutes every single time. That's not fun. Even though you want to be able to do it, it's simply adding filler. Now I know it sounds like I'm being harsh, but that's because I feel like I need to be on this topic. Even Super Meat Boy didn't really start pulling the patience game unless it was either a boss or the last world. Anyways, moving on, the campaign of Penarium is pretty decent. However, it is also very short if you're experienced with platforming games. It only took me about an hour and a half to beat. Now, the saving grace of the campaign is that the arcade mode is really fun. It's so addicting to try and beat your own high score, and while I beat the campaign of Penarium in 2 sessions, I put about 3 hours into the arcade mode on my first time playing it. You earn power-ups along the way, and as you get farther and farther, the combinations and traps get more difficult. A small complaint would be that the power-ups are a little unbalanced. The shield, which is the most expensive power-up to unlock, I should mention, is better to get than anything else by far. It protects you from 1 extra hit, which is something actually helpful, while most of the other power-ups are either conveniences or just fun little things to mess with. So overall, my view of Penarium is a good one. The game is well put together, plays smoothly, and the arcade mode is something I'll probably come back to over and over again. I personally give Penarium 7 farm boys longing for adventure out of 10. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any suggestions on how I could improve, let me know in the comments below. Also make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe as it really will help me out. Thanks again, and have a wonderful rest of your day.